Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Sorry for the little delay. We had a closed session that ran a little over. And tonight, the next part on our agenda is our final report from our student representatives, Sia, Iris, and Gianna. Please, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. This is our final report, but I want to start off by talking about our final meeting that we had today with the Student Advisory Council. And just as a reminder, the Student Advisory Council is a group of students from all grades in our school that were chosen to talk about sharing their thoughts and opinions so we can get a student insight. And this really helps us know what to talk about at our student representative reports. So today we talked about the issues with Chromebooks a lot of students were having, as well as the yearbook distribution and the final exam anxieties. Overall, the students were just really nervous, excited, and anxious for the end of the year, and they brought a lot of great ideas and suggestions for next year. So the Student Advisory Council has been really great because we've been able to understand the student point of view from all grades, and because everyone brings a different idea to the table, we know what to say, and it can help everyone change certain things that are not working out. So yeah, the Student Advisory Council has been great throughout the whole year, and I hope it continues next year.
So deviating away from academics, I also want to add that our high school sports teams have ended the year on a really high note. We want to congratulate the baseball team for winning the Group 4 state baseball championships, which is no small feat, and it's incredible. We also would like to congratulate the volleyball team for making Group 4 finals. It's definitely notable that the baseball team was a first ever win for the Bridgewater-Raritan High School in the state championship.
And then something exciting that happened for the seniors last week for the final end of the year ceremony was their senior awards. It was a really extraordinary ceremony that honored students for their hard work throughout high school and their contributions to the community. We saw students win many local scholarships and departmental scholarships, thanking them for their hard work. I myself received a few awards, and I was very grateful to receive those and to show that my hard work that I contributed in my past 4 years really did not go unnoticed. And then a lot of other students were grateful as well to receive these awards. And then on a more personal note this evening, I wanted to thank the Board of Education for everything that you've done and everything you continue to do to improve the lives of students every day. And then so I moved into the district actually going into 6th grade. And every single morning on the bus stop, I was so scared to go to school. And graduating now as a senior, I would have imagined everything that I've accomplished in the school district. Becoming the editor-in-chief of the Prowler, being a part of BRTV. I'm sorry. I really love everything that you guys have done. And I encourage other students to apply for this position. And thank you, everybody, for everything that the Bridgewater community has done for me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Gianna. Being a student representative for the Board of Education has been such a rewarding opportunity because I feel like I've been able to make a positive change, and you guys have been great, and thank you so much for everything you've done and continue to do for the future students of BRHS. And for the underclassmen, I highly recommend some of them to join or apply for the BOE student representative because honestly it's been so great and it's helped me understand how important the Board of Education is, and it's just been so rewarding, and it's helped me grow as a person a lot too.
I want to add on to what Sia said. Tonight it feels so surreal that this will be my last Board of Education meeting. From starting 1st grade in Milltown and then growing up through the Bridgewater-Raritan School District, I've gotten to experience firsthand the wonderful work of the Board of Ed. My senior year went by so fast, but every moment has truly been unforgettable. So I would like to encourage all the underclassmen to apply for this position because, just as Sia mentioned, it's incredibly rewarding. I think that it's important to engage in school discourse because it's important to learn from the perspectives and ideas of our peers, and most importantly, to engage with a diverse group of students. And lastly, I just want to say that not only has this been a rewarding and great learning opportunity, it's just been an incredibly fun experience. So I want to sincerely thank all of the Board of Education members for making this position unforgettable.
I was just kicking.
So we're going to switch the agenda around a little bit, seeing the student reps that this is your final board meeting as a student rep, but you can still always come back and run for the Board of Ed, so we have those opportunities. We've had a student do that in the past. I would like to say the sincere thank you to you all. So, but I also have the opportunity to read a resolution by the Board of Education for you all this evening. So, whereas Sia, Gianna, and Iris, as students of the Bridgewater-Raritan High School in Somerset County, have served with dedication as the student representatives to the Bridgewater-Raritan Regional Board of Education from September 2023 to June 2024. And whereas Sia, Gianna, and Iris have executed their duties as school board liaisons to the student community with commitment, interest, and enthusiasm, and have been an excellent representatives of both the Bridgewater-Raritan Regional School District Board of Education and the Bridgewater-Raritan High School. Whereas Sia, Gianna, and Iris participated in school board meetings by making contributions which are articulate, thought-provoking, and a benefit to the school board members. And whereas Sia, Gianna, and Iris, their school careers demonstrate that they are accomplished students of academics, leadership activities, and community service on the local and school level, showing others that have confidence in Sia and value Sia, Iris, and Gianna, and value their contributions. And whereas Sia, Gianna, and Iris, I'll get you guys down right, are bright, outgoing young women who fulfill their responsibilities with eagerness and dedication. Now therefore be it resolved that the members of the Bridgewater-Raritan Board of Education and the Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Beers, extend their sincerest appreciation to Sia, Gianna, and Iris for a job well done. And be it further resolved that the Bridgewater-Raritan Regional School District Board of Education and the Superintendent of Schools wish to acknowledge Sia, Gianna, and Iris' personal and academic excellence, as well as their leadership qualities, and their wish that they continue their success in future endeavors. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. And we have several things for you. So we get to give you, you don't have to leave empty-handed from the Board of Education. See? So. Yeah, we're walking up. We're going to up there. Try not to. Influence the night, all right? Sia was on top, so she got it. Sia Gupta. On behalf of the Board of Education, I want to say thank you. Your resolution. And a flag, so you can always remember us, okay? Gianna. You're all good. Yeah, last but not least, Iris, how are you? Thank you. And we sincerely thank you for your efforts and everything you've done. You make our meetings much more enriching, and you keep us focused on that we're here to do what's best for students. So we appreciate you, what you've done, and the leadership. And I hope it sparks a desire in you in the future for education and get engaged, whatever it might be, in areas which you're doing. So thank you. I wish you all the best. We'll see you on Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday, not Thursday next week. So graduation, we're going to be there. And so, does anyone else have anything to say? Jen?
Yeah. No, look again, ladies, I just wanted to say thank you. And on behalf of myself, the whole Board of Education, I can honestly say that we are all better because you were here and the time that we were able to spend together. So I hope you take that with you wherever your travels may go. And remember that the happiest people in the world are always those who live their lives in the service of others. And you're off to a great start here, and I wish you the best of luck. And again, thank you. It's been an honor to be with you. So when we're all done, we're going to take a picture with Mr. Moran and the whole Board of Ed down in the gym. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to add that you wholly changed the way that the student body communicates to the board and to the public. And personally, I've been enamored with how brilliant you all are and how well you've represented the class of 2024. Oh my gosh, you that was it. That's all I had to say.
It's a handkerchief. I'm old, okay? Yeah. Check. Yeah.
I also want to thank all our 3 student reps. I agree with all what's previously said, that I think it's great to have you here to share with us the perspectives of the students and remind us of what we're here for. And I think you are definitely also the inspiration for the underclass boys and girls. If you would like, share your experience. How do you go through the process? How inspired young people from juniors perhaps or in the future can follow your footsteps? What's the process? Thank you.
Sorry. So basically, around the beginning of our senior year, around September, we get an email from Mr. Hamburger asking to apply as a student BOE member. And it's a simple form. You just say, it's like you submit your resume and all of the activities you've done. And Mr. Hamburger interviews a select few of those students. And after his interview, if you're chosen, you just do what we do. So I highly recommend everyone to apply because it's been such a great experience. But yeah, it's a really simple process.
And I think it's important to mention that we're not looking for, or Mr. Hamburger next year is not looking for students that are academically so like involved or that achieve or are so involved in so many activities. I think it's more important that you're just in general involved in your community and you're excited to be a student at Bridgewater and you want to be able to make a difference and report to the board your experiences there. So it's not just the academically bright students, so everybody should apply.
Yes, I completely agree. I think that it's good that we encourage everybody who wants to make a positive change in their community and wants to use their voice to help their fellow students. And those are the exact people that we are looking for, regardless of what your current experience or background is.
Thank you very much.
I have one more in my report. I was able to attend the senior awards the other night, and I'd like to extend a thank you to the BREA. They partner with the board. We had the first year we were able to award the Somerset County Bridgewater-Raritan High School Unsung Hero an honorarium this year. So thank you to the BREA. I had excellent seeing all the awards that we received up there. Gianna and Mr. Moran got to give Gianna an award. So it was excellent. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, and you guys are going to do great things. So you're amazing leaders that are leaving here, and I just look forward to what you're going to do next. Next up, we're going backwards to the superintendent's report. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
Okay, so this evening we're going to continue our celebration, and it's a special night where we honor those who are retiring from the Bridgewater-Raritan Regional School District. Many of the names I'll call up have dedicated 25 plus years to the district and have made a lasting impact on our community. I want to begin by saying thank you to everyone who's here this evening, and I wish you the best of happiness, health, and wellness during your retirement. I hope you have fond memories of your time here at Bridgewater-Raritan. And I remember doing these retirement celebrations when I was a lot younger. And now that I'm kind of at that retirement age, you know, there is a tinge of jealousy. But honestly, I wish you the best. And, you know, and we're so proud that you made Bridgewater-Raritan your home. So I'm going to go up to the microphone with my colleague, Dr. Fonder, and Barry Walker, the Board of Ed President, to give out the retirement certificates. Thank you. And then you guys all join us for a picture down in the
I did say that when you went down there. I said, you might be wondering, am I going to be in a picture too? And the answer is probably yes.
Okay, first up, Kathleen Angela Sante, so Secretary B. 17 years of service with the Bridgewater-Raritan Regional School District.
Congratulations. Gonna miss the middle school graduation this year, you know? Oh my gosh.
Okay, and Marilyn Klazik, an elementary school teacher with 18 years of service at Adamsville Primary School.
Congratulations.
Joy Lafayette is a teacher of language arts. She's retiring after 22 years of service at the Bridgewater-Raritan Middle School.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, she's my buddy. Okay. Okay. Kelly McGillen is a teacher of language arts. 31 years of service at Bridgewater-Raritan Middle School.
My whole entire career.
That I'm going to say that is impressive to spend 31 years amongst middle school students. That is a really special individual.
In 1993, I was in this room for my new teacher orientation, and I've been 31 years here, and I've loved every minute.
Hey, and we finally changed the decor of the room last year, right?
Can you hear
It was exactly the same until last. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
John Rossi is retiring after 7 years here of service at the Wade Building. He's also known as the mayor of the Wade Building. And I'm proud to call him a friend of mine. So thank you. My man.
Come back and visit them, okay?
Leslie Thompson, special education assistant, 24 years of service at Bridgewater-Raritan High School.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Susan Ward, teacher of students with disabilities, 14 years of service at the Bridgewater-Raritan Middle School. Oh, she's not here? Okay. Aileen Zilberman, student assistance counselor, is retiring after 24 years of service at Bridgewater-Raritan High School. So I've got a list of those who were not in attendance, but if for some reason you're here, please come on up and we'll give you your certificate. But Lynn Beaufait, Karen Clausen, Kathleen DeBonis, Elizabeth DeMeyer, Anthony Del Chapia, Kevin Feely, Lori Ferris, Lisa Finnis, John Galita, Patricia Gray, Tara Houston, Deborah Huff, Mark Hungartner, Patricia Adele, Catherine Licht, Deborah Lobrace, Michelle Mealy, Kimberly Rand, Diane Setcavage, Jerry Stackhouse, Marcy, Wolfkischel. I'm sorry, I messed that up. Tejun Young and Laura Zamrock. So when we look at 25 years of service, Karen Clausen, Lori Ferris, John Galita, Mark Hungartner, and Tejun Young all had 25 years of service in the district. So once more, thank you to all our retirees. What? Oh, there are?
Oh, he did. I apologize.
First. Is there someone that I missed?
No, Kathy was the first one.
Okay. I know. It's okay. No, it's no problem. No, but again, thank you. And what do they say? Once you retire, though, the drawback is you never get a day off again in your life, right? But anyhow, thank you. And if we could go down to the gym for a quick photo op, we'll go from there.
Jen, Vice President's report, Ms. Loughran. All right, well, no report then. All right, we're moving right along. Committee reports, academic committee, Mr. Joshi.
Our next meeting is June 27th.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Joshi. Community relations, Ms. Calistri.
Okay. We met on June 4th at 5 o'clock virtually. In attendance was myself, Mrs. Freelander, Mrs. Hasuna, Mr. Beers, Mr. Walker, and Mr. Moran. We started with a presentation from a communication platform that offers two-way communication with the public. This company helps improve communication, and it's a platform that will help engage staff, faculty, and stakeholders. Any questions?
Did you say staplers or
Stakeholders.
Just checking, sorry.
Okay. Nothing? Okay. Next, we had one walk-in item. We discussed the group BOE email that was taken off the website, and we're going to have more communication about that in our next board meeting. We adjourned at 6:18, and our next meeting is to be determined.
And Mrs. Calistri, I think with the group email, what we had also discussed is that Doug Silvestro is going to be at our next meeting for another issue that we'll discuss later, a personnel matter. But at that, I had also asked him to be here to answer any questions, pitfalls, et cetera, about having that group email. So that's it. So on the 25th, he will be here to answer any questions.
It was me.
No.
She said she was done.
Okay, thank you. The next meeting. Finance, Facilities, and Transportation, Mr. Singer.
We met on June 3rd at 5:30 p.m. In attendance was myself, Ms. Hasuna, Ms. Loughran, Mr. Walker, Mr. Stars, and Ms. Rogers. We started off with the business agenda review. The business administrator reviewed the draft business action items for both the June 11th and June 25th meetings, with special attention to the ROD grants resolution purchases and annual year-end resolutions. The recommendation from the committee was to approve the action items that are up for tonight and hopefully for the 25th. Any questions? We then had a project update where Mr. Stars provided an update to certain projects and change orders that are anticipated. Just very briefly, a few of those. The lighting upgrades are going to be starting at JFK on June, I guess last week. Yeah. The middle school addition is going before the planning board either this month or next month, and we expect to begin bids in July, right? And the grandstands, as you might be able to see, are in progress at the high school, and the sewer line work is ready to begin, correct? Sewer meter work, right. The recommendation of the committee is to support the change orders use of contract allowances, which would be acted upon at upcoming meetings. Any questions? We then engaged in a policy review. The committee reviewed Strauss Esme's business policies versus the current district policies for 6421 purchases and 6422 budget transfers. The committee recommendation was to support the minor changes to 6421 and move to the use of Strauss Esme's 6422. These are up for first reading tonight. Any questions?
I have a question. Are these from Strauss-Esme's recommendation or alert?
These are because we are undergoing our regular review of policy throughout all of the committees as part of our board goals. And in the review of these two policies, we realized that a few of them veered away from Strauss-Esme, so we wanted to go back to what the Strauss-Esme model policy is.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Lastly, other matters, the committee discussed rationale for not air conditioning the multipurpose rooms and the gyms within the referendum. And the committee discussed an accident which occurred in front of the high school. The committee has no recommendations at this time. Any questions on those? And our next meeting is on Monday, July 15th at 5:30 p.m. We adjourned at 6:37 p.m.
I actually had a question about the gym. Is there any potential for rolling out any kind of air conditioning situation on a school-by-school basis or is it all schools or no schools?
Well, so as we discussed at the meeting, when you're doing it by level, you need to assure equity amongst the schools. So you need to make sure that all of the schools, if we're going to do one, we have to do all 7 elementary schools, for example. We can't just do one. If we're going to do one intermediate school, you have to do both intermediate schools. So is that what you're asking? Yes, that's correct.
Any other questions? Personnel Committee, Ms. Freelander.
Our next meeting is on June 18th, 2024, virtually at 5 p.m.
Thank you, Ms. Freelander. Delegate or liaison reports?
There we go. Real quick, from the borough of Raritan, as anyone who's been around the Somerset the Somerville Circle may have noticed, right outside the P.C. Richards, there's 2 gates with a memorial marking the spot where the Knox-Porter Resolution was signed on July 2nd, 1921. And that is the resolution that officially ended the United States involvement in World War I. So if you want to ask a fun trivia question, you could say, where did World War end? You could say Raritan, New Jersey, on the Somerville Circle.
Is that by, I think the plaque is by the Burger King, right?
The Burger King, but
Yeah.
I always thought of it by the P.C. Richards and Sons, but it's
Okay,
right off
right,
the...
It's right in there by the Burger King. Just
Yeah,
I've seen
it's
it.
right nestled in there. You kind of got to look, but once you see it, you do it. The reason that I mention it is that we're coming up on the anniversary. It was July 2nd. And for a long time, there's been a photo of that event. It was at the... President Warren Harding was playing golf. Was playing golf with Senator Frelinghuysen, and his golf round was interrupted. He came in to sign it. But the document itself has never been... It's kind of been lost to history until Councilman Adam Armaheiser worked with the U.S. Archives, and it took them a long time. They tracked down the actual document that was signed. It hasn't, as far as they know, it's been sealed in the archives for decades at least. And when they looked at it, they found out that it was not just signed by Warren Harding, it was also signed by Calvin Coolidge. I forget the exact in what capacity. So there's a delegation, at least planning to go down from Raritan to view, they can't take the actual document, but to view the actual document close to the anniversary of the signing. They've made special arrangements for that. So if anyone's interested in tagging along or learning more about that, it's just something interesting that I thought I'd point out. And thanks for Councilman Armaheiser for really taking all the initiative on that and letting us know about it.
What year was that again?
1921. So technically, the United States was a couple years after the First World War. They did not ratify that. So we remained technically at war with Germany and Austria until that was signed by Warren G. Harding and the Frelinghuysen Mansion in Raritan.
I love these history lessons by Mr. Pepe.
Anybody else? Delegate liaison reports.
I'll say some about what's talked about at the Bridgewater Council meeting. The Verizon cell tower was finally approved to be built, but it's instead of being built right in front of our high school property, it's going to be at the corner of the Guards and Vertis, so it's slightly off. That has been finalized and approved. That's all.
Thank you. Anybody else? I'm going to close that. Okay, item M, open to the public. Individuals and or groups are invited to present their concerns, comments, and or requests regarding the following action items to the Board of Education at this time. In accordance with board policy, members of the public are allotted one opportunity to address the board for a maximum of 5 minutes. During this period of the meeting, please be advised that a video recording of this meeting will be posted on the district's website. Seeing none. Approval action item number 12. Approval of minutes, May 28th, 2024, regular session, and May 28th, 2024, closed session. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Stars, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Pepe,
Yes.
Ms. Freelander,
Yes.
Ms. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Joshi,
Yes.
Ms. Kalistri,
Yes.
Mr. Singer,
Yes.
Ms. Hasuna,
Yes.
Ms. Lochran,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes. Motion carries. Personnel 24-38 through 24-39. Is there a motion?
Second.
Any discussion?
just had a quick question on the personnel rubrics. Is that is approving the rubrics the same thing as approving the model? I know we have the Danielson model. Do they go hand in hand, or are they technically separate?
Yes, they go hand in hand. So one of the requirements with Achieve New Jersey is that each district has to approve the evaluation rubrics that you're using each year. And so we use the Danielson framework for all of our teachers and certificated staff. And so there's a few different versions of the rubric for some positions that are certificated staff members but not teachers, such as a school nurse.
Right. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Mr. Stars, can you call the roll, please? Mr. Pepe?
Yes.
Ms. Freelander?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Joshi?
Yes.
Ms. Kalistri?
Yes.
Mr. Singer?
Yes.
Ms. Hasuna?
Yes.
Ms. Lochran?
Yes.
Mr. Walker? Yes. Motion carries. Curriculum 24-69 through 24-70. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Stars, can you call the roll, please? Mr. Pepe?
Yes.
Ms. Freelander?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Joshi?
Yes.
Ms. Kalistri?
Yes.
Mr. Singer?
Yes.
Ms. Hasuna?
Yes.
Ms. Lochran?
Yes.
Mr. Walker? Yes. Motion carries. Business 24-147 through business 24-154. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We're doing well on motions and seconds. Is there any discussion? Yes, go ahead.
I have a comment to make about 24-148, the approval to transfer interest income from bond issue. I had a couple email exchanges with Mr. Stars, and I think this resolution caught my attention at the beginning for not having a amount to transfer to begin with, and then through asking through email Mr. Stars, I understand that the interest income from the bond issue is in amount of 1,900,000 some thousand, which is close to 2 million. So, and then I followed up with a few other questions, including whether that's going to be reflected in the budget process. I think maybe Mr. Stars can actually answer those questions here for public information. Or you want me to say those myself?
Yeah, you could read my responses, sure.
Okay, all right. So it looks like that this resolution isn't really asking board approval for fund transfer of a specific amount, but rather to set a process for the interest transfer process. I think we have a board policy about how do we transfer funds. So for that reason, I'm not certain we should have a resolution specific for a process instead of just following the policy. In addition, I feel like the amount that's connected to this resolution, the bond issue interest, which, as I understand, we issued the bond in January, and by the end of May, the interest has accrued to be close to 2 million, as I just mentioned.
So you might interject for a second. Are you still
I'm
reading
on the
Mr.
resolution.
Are you still reading Mr. Starr's response, or you are? It sounds like it's your own opinion. I just want to make sure.
Rephrasing the response from the.
Okay. I just want to make sure I don't misattribute
it is.
anything. Thanks.
Yeah, so those are the response I got. That's related to interest income of about 2 million, and it's about the process rather than a specific transfer. So that's what I found out after the communication. My comments about this would be that I don't think we should resolve this process in the form of a resolution, but should rather follow the board process defined by the policy and approve specific fund transfer amount and the fund transfer itself. Thank you.
So just a couple clarifications. The resolution came from bond counsel and encouraged us to, we require a resolution to do what we're looking to do. and this language came from bond counsel. And the questions weren't, those were not my responses. So the question was, is the interest income going to be for 23-24 budget year, meaning will this money be spent during 23-24 budget year, or is it going to a balance or reserve account for future use? My response was, some will be placed aside for the future arbitrage liability. The remaining will go into our reserve accounts for future projects. Next question, is this amount going to be reflected in a modified budget? My answer, no. Third question was, the last time school district did a referendum, how was that cash and interest handled? And I said, over 15 plus years ago, I don't recall. Number 4 question was, the resolution seems to approve a process that the board, by passing this resolution, will not approve each actual interest transfer anymore. How will board be notified of these transfers? My response was, each year end, the money would get transferred from Fund 40 to 10. The FFT committee would be notified or would be included in the minutes of said meeting. The board may also decide annually whether to change this approach. So those were the questions, and that was the response.
There's a statute of this too. I noticed that in the resolution there's a statute, which I'm reading now. It's pretty clear here, Mr. Stars, right? What we're doing is in compliance with the statute and recommended by the bond agent, so it's best practice. Correct?
This was written by the board attorney.
Thank you. I'm the board attorney. Thank you. Any other discussion?
I just had,
Go ahead.
yeah, I just had one other thing. I know a lot of times in this block of the agenda, we'll see a gifts list, and there's not one today, which makes sense at the end of the year. But I know throughout our schools and classrooms, there is a ton of stuff being brought in by teachers and families, and teachers and staff especially, to make the end of the year fun and exciting and memorable for students, and all throughout the year, whether it's, fruit for a science experiment you need at the last second, or a prize for the prize box that motivates a kid to try a little harder. Thank you for all the gifts that the teachers and staff have sent in throughout the year that don't go recorded on our agenda in our minutes. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Any other comments or questions? Mr. Stars, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Pepe?
Yes.
Ms. Freelander?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
No to 24-148, yes to the rest.
Mr. Joshi?
Yes.
Ms. Kalistri? Yes. Mr. Singer?
Yes.
Ms. Hasuna? Yes. Ms. Lochran?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes. Motion carries. Special Services 24-39. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? This would have to be in closed session. Seeing none. Mr. Stars, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Pepe?
Yes.
Ms. Freelander?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Joshi?
Yes.
Ms. Kalistri?
Yes.
Mr. Singer?
Yes.
Ms. Hasuna? Yes. Ms. Lochran?
We are on,
Special Student Services.
yes, sorry.
Mr. Walker?
Yes. Motion carries. Policy 24-29. Is there a motion? Did I forget one? I apologize. My apologies. Sorry. Other 24-20-46 through 24-47. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there any discussion will have to be on the closed session. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. Mr. Stars, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Pepe?
Yes.
Ms. Freelander?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Joshi?
Yes.
Ms. Kalistri?
Yes.
Mr. Singer?
Abstain on 265371 from other 2447, and no on 265945 from other 2447. Yes on everything else.
Ms. Hasuna?
Yes.
Ms. Lochran?
Yes to all except for 266707, no.
I'll get with you. Mr. Walker?
Yes.
No.
Motion carries. This is the second open to the public comment. Oh, darn it. Sorry about that. I'm sliding my pages too fast today. Policy 24-29. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. I have a comment about policy 6422 about the budget transfer. I think we just mentioned how we have a policy actually regarding budget transfer. I think basically from this policy, it says that the board approves the transfers, and that in certain situations that if I read the second paragraph, however, this Board of Education, in accordance with the provision NJSA 18A 22-8.1, and this policy has adopted by the board, designates the superintendent of school to approve such transfers are as necessary between meetings of board. Transfer approved by the superintendent shall be reported to the board, ratified and duly recorded in the minutes at a subsequent meeting of the board, but not less than one monthly. So here is the portion that is taken out in this policy revision. What's taken out is transfers approved by the superintendent and referred by the board must meet the following conditions. 1, to wait for the approval by the board should be deleterious to the district. 2, the transfers are within the current fund only. And 3, the transfers do not exceed 10,000. Transfers into the salary or tuition accounts may exceed this limitation. That's end of the reading. I feel like these limitations are in place for the history of this policy and seem to have worked for our district. I do not see a reason why we should eliminate this requirement. So my thoughts on this are that we should keep it as is.
Any other discussion? Laura? Seeing none, Mr. Stars, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Pepe,
Abstain.
Ms. Freelander,
Yes.
Ms. Lee,
No.
Mr. Joshi,
Yes.
Ms. Calistri. Yes. Mr. Singer,
Yes.
Ms. Hasuna,
Yes.
Ms. Lochran,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes. Motion passes. Second, open to the public comment. Individuals and/or groups are invited to present their concerns, comments, and requests to the Board of Education at this time for any matters. In accordance with the board policy, members of the public are allotted one opportunity to address the board for a maximum of 5 minutes during this period of the meeting. Please be advised that a video recording of this meeting will be posted on the district website. Please state your name and address, please. If you could speak into the mic, because I can't hear you, so I know, get a little closer.
No. Oh, it wasn't even on. So at the last meeting, there were a couple of people here talking about the unified sports and everything, which I'm really happy that that's growing in the Bridgewater-Raritan School District. My son actually did that when he was in, I think, maybe 3rd through 5th grade or something like that. They did unified basketball, and then it completely went away for years and years, and I guess there was really nobody to do it or something, and I'm not a sports person myself, but in any case, I just want to say I'm really glad that it's back in the high school and that it's growing, or that it came to the high school, I should say, in the middle school. I think they said that they're beginning that. I'd like to encourage it to still be in the younger schools because it was tremendous. It really helped my son a lot. He loved it. And the other thing I wanted to say, now I could have missed this, but I get like the monthly updates from Bridgewater-Raritan, and I never see, now again, I could have just missed it, but I looked and looked through, but I don't see announcements about like when the Special Olympics is coming up. You know, like there's a lot of announcements of things happening in the school district. I don't know if I missed that, but I've looked and looked in the announcements and I don't see it. And if not, I would like to encourage that that's put into the announcements because it's so important. And especially in our area, like it took me a long time to realize because most of the Special Olympics take place like really far, like almost like down in Lawrenceville. And So a lot of parents don't really hear about it except for the track and field that we do at Bridgewater-Raritan. But maybe we could try to make that known too in some way, that because really it's done just like the regular Olympics. You know, they have the torch, it's amazing. They compete in the state, and then if they qualify, they'll go to the USA Games, and if they qualify after that, they'll go to the World Games. Like a guy just, not from Bridgewater, but just went to Germany last year from powerlifting. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say is if we could encourage more of that, I think it will help a lot of those students. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Public comment? Seeing none, I'm going to close that part of the mission.
Oh, wait, I'll come. I do, sorry.
I didn't move on yet. I'll give you a second.
Really?
That's
I'm
2.5
clearly
minutes for you.
not myself tonight. I accused the superintendent of missing someone. I was out getting my glasses. I couldn't find them. All right, my name's Laura Kress. I'm the president of the Bridgewater-Raritan Education Association. I would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a great end of the year. And most of all, our retirees, I think we had about 25 thus far, right? May they enjoy every last moment of their retirement, well-deserved. And, you know, the district won't be the same without these people. It's true. They don't make people like us anymore. As we wrap up the school year, I would like to also report that the BREA sponsored 12 community-based events this year through the NJEA grants. Some were SEL events, some robotics, some athletic events, some informational for ELL parents. We did that at Eisenhower and at JFK earlier in the year, and we just recently had an event at Adamsville honoring our veterans. At these events, we serve dinner and/or snacks. We also continued our tradition of community breakfast for parents and students. We do that K through or pre-K through 6th, and I think this was our 15th year of the community breakfasts. And I just want to say that we invested about $50,000 into the school community this year through NJEA grants and running programs. And we look forward to continuing to provide activities for our students and their families in the years to come. And I really want to give a shout out to John Avancho. He's a middle school tech teacher who writes the grants and organizes these events in the buildings in conjunction with the people that work there. So now I'm changing gears. So as the district continues to grow and change, we are looking forward to continuing to be a part of those changes and offer our input where appropriate. Our Wade administrators have done a good job working to bring our district to a better place. The changes may start up here in this building, but they're ultimately carried out in the school buildings through our dedicated staff. And I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to all of our teachers, our TAs, everyone really that works in the schools. For without their dedication, the new programs would not happen with the success they have. And again, some of these changes have been long overdue, but it's still more for the staff. In mentioning just a few, we're in the second year of a math program, which was a pretty big change, online and paper component. In addition, we have math cluster groups. In many cases, teachers had to continue to learn the new math program while teaching ELL students for the first time. And many staff have never worked with ELL students before either, and they had to, you know, there were some trainings, but they had to, you know, when you're in the classroom on your own, you have to change your techniques and do that for all subjects. So, in addition to that, we have seen a multitude of new classes added to the high school level where the staff continues to meet the challenge of teaching those new classes. We've seen 7th grade schedule change, the 8th grade schedule changes this upcoming year. And across the board, really, many of our special ed teachers and TAs have had to learn many of the new curriculum, many changes because they teach multiple levels in self-contained classrooms. In addition, our staff in general are contending with, this is serious behavioral problems that far exceed anything we've ever experienced before in this school district, at least since I've been here for 24 years. And it's not easing up. as people predicted it might after COVID. And as teachers in the classroom, we not only worry about the children with the behavioral issues, while trying to teach and make it right for those students who are available for learning at that time. And I want to, so a thank you to the awesome staff. It takes everyone in a school building to run a school. And I want to add that I believe the district is working to add. They've added some classes at the high school to deal with behavior problems. The district did maintain their 2 guidance counselors, even though we had a little reduction in force. And we have hired some mental health professionals. So thank you for that, because teachers, and we're often confused as mental health professionals as well as teachers, and that in fact is not the case. I mean, we have some tricks up our sleeve, but what we're seeing now is beyond, you know. And just before closing, I would also be remiss if I, didn't mention that next year we're heading into negotiations, and we are looking forward to working with the board's team in solidifying a contract that attracts and maintains certificated and non-certificated staff. Because as I sit where I am right now, I feel like our state and our nation are at a crossroads when it comes to maintaining one of the very core aspects of our society, and that's a free and quality public education. I feel like we have to be careful before we lose it. Perfect timing. And Mr. Stars, the abacus is on the way for the new abacus. Thank you. Have a good summer.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Seeing none, I'm going to close that. Thank you. Old business. Is there any old business?
I had one thing, and actually, Joan brought it up, actually. We had several students compete at the Special Olympics this past weekend from Bridgewater-Raritan. Yes, so actually the JCC in Bridgewater they direct the Special Olympics team for this area. I believe it's Stephanie Johnson is the coordinator. And but you are right, it would be we should get some more information from them to help promote and advocate especially from our unified sports groups. So I do think that's a great idea. Maybe we can talk about it in community relations about coordinating. We have till next year. So yeah, but kudos to the kids. I saw the pictures, and I saw we had some kids medal in different events this past weekend, and congratulations to them.
I just want to add one thing on that topic as well. I know you had discussed students in the younger grades working like more of the unified sports. My son does work actually in the gym class. They have them come together and work with the special needs class, and he volunteers his time during lunch a couple days a week. So we do it. I hope that it's everywhere, but it is actually, he loves it. So I'm happy that we are doing it in the elementary schools.
And along those same lines, the NJSIA, which is the governing body, has unified sports in basketball, bowling, track, soccer, and other areas. And our unified team made the final. So there was actually a state unified track meet. I forget what day it was, just last weekend. So they hold them all over too. And last year, our facility was used for Special Olympics, but because of our referendum work and some of the work being done throughout the district, it was moved to Manville there, so for the Special Olympics track meet statewide. So we do that. We also have Panther partners in the high school, and the unified sports I think is just quite a draw for both all our student body. They all participate, so it's quite neat to have fun. But thank you for your comments. Any other old business? Seeing none, new business.
I had wondered if maybe we didn't have to require public speakers to say their address over the microphone if they don't want to. Nothing specifically pertaining to the Board of Ed, but I happened to catch a public session at the municipality where one of the speakers was really uncomfortable, and I wondered if it was still necessary, especially since we broadcast and they can write our address.
Yeah, Jen, this issue actually came up. I believe one of our board attorneys, David Rubin, commented on it at the legal training that some of the team went to a couple of weeks ago. And you're right, when you look at the modern day where people can look up addresses and things like that, there are a lot of folks who are uncomfortable with it. So there are places that are just asking for, all right, what's your name and what town do you live in? Because, again, you don't have to live in Bridgewater or Raritan to go to the microphone and make a comment. So it's about easing that intrusion. I don't know if that's what you're getting at.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. I think.
And it seems like the trend is towards that. Just give your name, what town you're from, and then we're good.
Yep. Thank you.
There's actually a policy on that, Jen. If you want to look at that, 0167. As I
You're
always
right. I
say,
was gonna
there's
ask what
there's a
policy
policy
was.
for everything. So it actually states in there, participants must be recognized by presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of his or her name, municipality of residence, group affiliation, if applicable. Okay? So that's where it comes out. So that's it? Just town, address. Yeah, we don't have to change it. So just municipality of residence. So you're good.
So now we change our practice of not asking for address anymore from here on. Okay.
We
Name
should
and
check,
town of
because there could be
residence.
another, sorry.
Go ahead.
I know sometimes there are multiple policies on the same thing, so it might be good to see if there is somewhere where, some document somewhere that requires it, that we have also in policy.
Sure, and we can easily
Yeah.
change that for the next meeting if,
Oh, yeah.
if no one objects
Yeah.
to that. Because hearing that policy,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great.
I don't think we wouldn't be in violation of the policy.
Right. Yeah. No.
Any other new business?
Yes. So as we know, over the past 2 weeks, the Bridgewater-Raritan community has mourned the loss of two of our young men who are students in our district. Matthew Showers, 10th grader, passed away on June 4th, and Colin Zavoda, a 9th grader, passed away last evening. As a community, we express our sincere condolences to the family and friends of these young people, these young men. This morning, our high school principal, Mr. Hemberger, sent out a message to the community, to the high school community, and we'll make sure it's accessible on the school website. Counselors were available today and will continue to be available throughout the school day if students need someone to help them process their grief or just to listen. Today and through the remainder of the year, students and teachers are encouraged to visit the Bridgewater-Raritan High School Counseling Office if necessary. Additionally, the principal's message contained links to resources for students and families to access if they need more supports outside of the school building. And during this, well, there are no real adjectives to describe it, but I want to thank the school counselors, the faculty, the building administrators for helping our students through the tragic events of the last 2 weeks. I'm grateful, and I believe I speak for the people of the community, that we're grateful for their dedication to the young people in this district. And I ask you to please join me in a moment of silence for these young men and their families. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Beers. Is there any more new business? Seeing none, we need to return to closed session for multiple topics. So whereas the discussion of the board is required on matters that are exceptions to the requirement that the public may hold its meeting in public, and whereas the topics are personnel and superintendent evaluation, whereas it is expected that the details of the discussion may be made public as soon as the issues may be acted on publicly, be it resolved that the Board of Education enters into closed session. Is there a motion? Is there a second? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? We will be taking no action when we return. Thank you for attending the meeting this evening. Thank you. Yeah, we're going back. Let's go back downstairs. What?